coming up soon.
All right, Ron, look forward to it. The Sioux City Community Schools Board of Directors has begun interviewing candidates for the job of school district superintendent.
That's right, and this actually follows the resignation of Dr. Juan Cordova, which came March 31st after more than 4 months on paid administrative leave. KTV's Sophie Walkoff is live with Live Link 4 at school district headquarters tonight in downtown Sioux City, and that's where the school board has wrapped up the first of 2 days of virtual meetings with candidates for the superintendent's job.
So, Sophie, what's the timeline for finding the district's next leader?
Matt and Jessica, the school district had 10 candidates apply for that superintendent position. Today and tomorrow, the school district is hosting 6 virtual interviews. The school district spokesperson, Leslie Hying, confirmed the number of applicants to KTIV. She said their identities and backgrounds are not being released to the public at this point in the process, and this is done to protect the identity of the candidates. Once the board narrows the candidates to 2 or 3 finalists, she says the district will announce the names of those finalists to the public. For the last 2 candidate search, the district used the recruiting firm GR Recruiting, but this time around, she says the district is conducting the search themselves and they won't be using an outside source. We'll take a closer look at these closed doors meeting and hear from the school board members themselves tonight at 10.
Sophie Wyckoff live for us in Sioux City tonight. Sophie, thank you.